I think I fixed it. Dude, why is this main menu not working, dude? I don't understand that. Alright. Yep, alright, put all this stuff up. What? Oh. What happened? What happened to Megaton? Alright. Now Megaton's working. Yeah, so there's still some fuckery afoot with some stuff somewhere. I don't know.
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
Welcome home, sir.
What's up?
Here we couldn't join us. We can't. Check out.
Hello there. Nice to see you. What? No! Oh my god! I should never have left! Thank good. Thanks for bringing. Oh, thank you for.
Your parents are dead.
I hope things are going well for you today, sir.
Yeah, it's going alright.
What brings you back to Megaton?
What do you need? Well, I'll be. The pressure's up in the plant. It looks like all the leaks have been fixed. Thank you, stranger. Thank you. But listen, it's only a matter of time before they burst again. And someone like you might not be around to fix them. I'll make you a deal. I'll give you caps for any... if I have a steady supply of scrap. Huh? Yeah. Oh.
Hell yeah.
Huh?
Getting money, dude. Money.
Those monsters,
Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah.
those things. You look stronger than all the... Those... Wait...
Alright, so I'll do it on Scram. Grandma Sparkle in her combat armor. Alright, let's do this quest first.
Kind of... Come on, tell me all... I guess...
All right, we got a special guest in the house. Humberto Bellert is in the house. Humberto, great to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
For some of you guys that know Humberto, he's kind of a big deal here in this building. But, of course, this is a tough weekend with all the events that took place. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of thoughts. I tweeted about this when it happened. And I said, this could have been prevented if you lost complete control of your people. And I got a lot of people that were not happy about my comment. But I will tell you exactly why I am not changing my position. And the comments I made, Alex Pretty should be here today if it wasn't for leadership. He should be here today. It's devastating when you watch that video. Whether you agree with his politics or not, this is a guy that loved America. This is a guy that loved his family. His family came out and put out a note. He did not seem like a bad guy, but there are laws that we have to follow. And unfortunately, this happened, and there's a lot of things that happen over the weekend. You know, reports of people's names being found in Telegram groups that are going out there protesting, doing all of this stuff. The whole playbook of rules for radicals needs to be looked at, which we will today. I'll go through the 13 rules for radicals just to remind everybody what that book that a lot of these guys, the playbook that they use, they go through. And again, heartbreaking. We've seen all the clips, all the angles. We'll show any clips that we're capable of showing. Rob, you'll decide which ones YouTube's going to be okay for us to show or not. But that's that. So ton of stories there. We'll spend the first hour probably on that topic. But aside from that, a few other things that we need to get into. There's this anti-influencer declares guerrilla war against ICE. That's kind of a part of that video, but we'll show it to you anyways. Iran's supreme leader retreats underground, warned of likelihood of U.S. airstrikes that was brought to him. Trump announced he's skipping Super Bowl in California, criticizes performers Bad Bunny and Green Day. And apparently Bad Bunny was supposed to wear a dress. I think last minute they couldn't fit the dress. No, he changed his mind. He's not wearing the dress, and Trump's going to be skipping the Super Bowl, which should be interesting that he's skipping it. You know, he doesn't miss any of these events. I was at the college game with, Indiana and Miami, and he was there, okay? You go to UFC, he's there. You go to the big fights, he's there. For whatever reason, he's skipping this one. And by the way, it's going to be Seattle against New England. Yep. Which Rams could have won last night. They could have won it. A couple plays could have happened, but this is why football is football. And it's going to be Seattle against, Patriots.
You think he's skipping it, Pat, because it's in L.A. and it's Seattle?
I don't think he cares about it. I think he'll go anywhere, flight anywhere.
It's probably like a scheduling.
I think there is something behind closed doors that happened that he's probably not happy with, that he's saying he's going to skip it. Again, we'll get into it because Tom's got thoughts on it. Again, more stories on what happened there. Major airlines cancel flights to Middle East with possible U.S. strike on Iran up in the air. Iran will retreat any attack as an all-out war, says senior Iran official. Again, more of these stories. That's January 24th story that's coming down. Shutdown risk grows as Democrats revolt after Minneapolis shooting. Senate cancels Monday vote as shutdown deadline looms. Mamdani announces free child care for illegal aliens. Free child care, folks. If you're illegal, go to New York. They're offering free child care for you. It's a great advertisement to attract more illegal aliens. If somebody is watching this wondering what is a good city to move to if you're illegal, I would suggest go straight to New York City. They're giving you a commercial to tell you we want illegals in our city. Very noble of their mayor that wants more illegal aliens in their city. You have to respect the fact that Mamdani wants more illegal aliens in his city. You know, Vinny, the part of it is kind of noble because you decide, right, as a company, you can say what types of people we hire.
Of course.
You say we want people with, MBAs. Yes. We want people with bachelor's degrees. We want you with a degree in, finance or whatever it may be. He's saying he wants illegal aliens to a city, which is great. Okay, send more to New York City. If you're part of a city that you don't want illegal aliens, encourage them. Maybe give them like a Greyhound ticket to it's a strategy to use because they have better benefits in New York City for illegal aliens. Bill Maher says anti-COVID lockdown advocates were right. Wuhan lab leak wasn't a conspiracy theory. He continues, by the way. Bill Maher is trying to make new friends today. Bill Maher calls Mamdani a straight-up communist, warns Dems will lose more elections if they deny it, and then Scott Jennings has to explain to CNN why immigration enforcement runs smoothly in states other than Minnesota, and he breaks it down for them. CBS Evening News rakes in higher rating despite liberals moaning. CBS is coming up. Is that because of Barry Weiss? What's going on there? I mean, if they're increasing, maybe Barry's doing something right. You got to give her some credit. CNN's Harry Enton says even Democrats hate their own party. Can you imagine that? How bad is that to say even your own party hates your own party? Harry's a little bit. That's offensive, Harry. You know. Trump threatens 100% tariffs on Canada if it makes a deal with China. Again, going back at it. Carney pushes back on Trump's 100% tariff threat over China trade deal with Canada amid tensions. Mamdani calls ICE raids inhumane. Pledges to fight them in New York City. Top Trump lieutenants join in blasting Dems Tim Walz and Jacob Fry for inciting protesters. Tim Walz compares Trump's ICE crackdown in Minnesota to Nazi occupation told by Anne Frank. And by the way, don't you think comments like that incite, encourage people to come out and do dumb things? Don't you think comments like that enrages people? On a brighter note, this guy decides to climb a building in what country was this? Taiwan?
Taiwan. It was
Yeah, Taipei, Taiwan.
Taipei, Taiwan. Tallest building comparable to the World Trade Center building we have here in New York. He climbs it with no. Have you seen this video?
What do you mean?
Yeah, like
you know how much anxiety I've had.
It's called free climbing.
And then you know what was the most anxiety? The guy gets all the way to the top and he just stands and he's going like this. I'm like, buddy, there's wind up there. Like, hold it together.
How did he get
You'd
down?
be like this. That's the first thing I search. How did the guy get down?
Don't tell me.
I don't know how he got down.
Like a wimp, he went in and took like an elevator or something.
No. I have no idea how he got down.
I would have jumped.
But if you don't like heights,
No, I wouldn't have.
I would encourage you to skip that part at the end when we get into it. Now, having said that,
So you wouldn't want to do the interview with him right up on
Pat,
top?
I can see you doing a PvP podcast.
listen, no way.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How much money, real talk, Tommy, great.
Maybe a helicopter with a rope and a chair?
I'm being dead serious. At the top of that little thing, just you and him, $10 million I give you. Would you do the podcast?
I'm telling you right now, on air, you give me $1 billion, I'm not doing that interview.
You're $1 billion.
I have no interest to sit up there and
so
ask him
freaking
what was
crazy.
it like.
You know,
No,
I believe you.
I have
I believe
no
you.
interest to do that. He can go up there and enjoy himself.
Oh, man.
And we celebrate it, but it's not something I'm interested in.
Oh,
But
man.
okay, having said that, you want some good news? Here's the good news. America's turning 250 this year. And by the way, we're doing something special on the 250th, 4th of July. Stay tuned. I'll announce it to you when it's ready to announce. It's going to be wild, but we're going to do a handful of special pieces of merch, limited edition numbered. Okay, this one's going to be out of 250 with the number 250. So it's numbered out of 250 for the 250-year celebration of U.S. It will not last long. Rob, play this clip. Future looks bright. We're excited about this year with all the chaos that's happening. When we break down to you what is really going on or makes sense to you. But having said that, Rob, go ahead and play this clip.
We don't just make products. We carry a legacy built on American craftsmanship, intention, and pride. 250 years of history, refined for today. Every detail tells a story. Every piece stands for who we are. This is tradition, reimagined. This is our 250 years limited edition collection. The future looks bright at 250.
Guys, this is all I'll tell you. Good luck if you sat on this one. If you wait, by the way, for some of you guys that unfortunately will watch this afternoon because you wait for the clips, you can find the items that people buy on eBay. That'll be the only place you'll be able to get it. The hat will not last a long time. Again, it's limited merch, so it's numbered out of 250. If you go to eBay afterwards, you may find it because these things are not going to last but 30 minutes. They'll be gone in no time. Every time we do limited merch, the hat comes in a box that says Future Looks Bright and the logo VT right on there. So go to VTmerch.com, place your order. Go to VTmerch.com, Rob. If you could just go to the website. If you go to VTmerch.com on the cover, you'll see the 250. Get the sweater because it's cold. Get the shirt and get the hat. And if not for you, buy it for somebody else as well.
We
Having
get close
said
up
that,
to the shield. That shield is just amazing.
it is amazing. It is amazing. It's sick. Okay, having said that, let's get right into it with what happened this weekend. Rob, tragic event in Minneapolis. Alex Preddy was at the protest, and while the events are taking place, Rob, which clips can we show? Because at this point, people have seen many of the clips. Let's show this until it gets to the part of the shooting. Rob, go for it. So this is the protest that's going on. ICE is coming down. Lower the audio a little bit, Rob. That whistling is
In the street, obstructing.
And I think the majority of these officers were Border Patrol agents, correct?
They're Border Patrol agents, majority of them. So that's Alex.
Yep. There's the bear spray or the...
Oh, fighting back, dragging the girl.
Okay, you can pause it right there. You can pause it right there. This leads to shooting, and eventually Alex dies after this event that takes place. And it's been talked about all over the place. The left is blaming Trump, calling him Gestapo, using phrases that is just, again, the types of phrases that cause people to jump to conclusion, saying this was intentional. Why did they do this? You know, CNN done a bunch of different interviews. I can read a bunch of the stories here, but let's kind of read one of them. Alex Preddy, 37, identified man as fatally shot by Border Patrol agent in Minneapolis. Rob, if you have a clip on that one, I'll go to this first. And then we got, is that Christy Noem?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and play this clip.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid.
Okay, so that's that. I'll come to you first, Tom. What happened? What is your impression of what happened? And then, of course, we'll go into the rest of the issues.
Well, I don't need to break down the video because I think everybody has seen it from 10 angles, along with people putting spin on it. What I want to know is, how does an emergency room nurse get involved with a highly organized group? He was out there with his camera up and he was directing traffic. There was no dispute that he stepped out into the street and they were trying to direct cars to come up and stop. People in cars were, some of them were people that were also organized. So this guy puts himself out in harm's way. It didn't have to happen. There was a report from Minnesota News that his parents apparently told News that they said, don't go getting involved with this. Why are you getting involved with this? So there was some concern on the part of the family. So he goes down where officers have actions going, and he was part of an organized group. He goes down there armed. He had his phone. And so I look at it and I'm like saying, Alex, you didn't have to die. What were you doing there? And more importantly, how did you get involved with these people and get into part of the organization to come down and disrupt traffic during a law enforcement action that was being carried out by the Border Patrol? That was my first response. And then we all saw what happened. It got crazy. And by the way, the police and law enforcement of every division and every department, whether it's Border Patrol that we saw here, by the way, Minnesota police, local police, where the hell were you when this is going on? And ICE, they don't get to break it down frame by frame in slow motion. This thing is happening at speed. And you heard the first discharge. All he had to do was stand up and say, wait, and put his arms straight out. They're either going to leave you on the ground or they're going to stand you up to the sidewalk, put you against a car or against a wall. That's all he had to do, is to yell, wait, and put his arms straight up to show that with palms open. But instead, he chose to struggle and he chose to be there in the first place. And I think it's a tragedy, but I want to know who organized this and who pulled this guy into it where he thought that it was okay to go down there. And by the way, his parents are telling media, we said, why are you getting involved in this? You shouldn't be down here.
Benny, where are you at with this?
Well, first and foremost, you guys know what I do. I carry a 9mm Springfield Hellcat. You know I have it on me. I have it on me all the time. You know what I don't do, Pat? I don't go to organize protest, okay? Because there was a fact that he was actively tracking and targeting ICE on that secret Minnesota signal chat, okay? I don't go to protests with other agents who have guns and interfere with official federal business, okay? You know why? Because I'm not stupid, Patrick, and I know that there's a possibility if I get into a fight, something crazy might happen, okay? And there's a little, I did some research. I wanted to find out about this gun because from what I saw, they took the gun, but he was still reaching for something because he had 2 extra clips. I remember I was looking for a gun last year because I already have a 6 Sauer, Tommy. Right now I have a Hellcat, I have a bunch of guns, but the gun that he had was a 6 Sauer P320. And the reason I didn't get it, do you know why? It's been known for a history of misfiring by itself. Law enforcement, there's lawsuits. Rob, look at the Pap. The 6 Sauer P320, subject to over 100 lawsuits alleging that it can fire without a trigger pull. The incident, Rob, we don't have to go to it. There's a bunch of videos. There's one of cops in a hospital. They're arresting some individual. Pat, they grab the guy's legs and the cop's gun goes and shoots, and all the cops are tripping out. So add this to the recipe of disaster. Are you ready for this? He's there. He's interfering. They're in the skirmish. One agent grabs the gun. He's walking away. That gun misfires. This is my opinion. Misfires. It spooks everybody there. And mind you, simultaneously, he's grabbing for the gun that he thinks is still there, okay? But let's go back. Why is he there? He's there because he's told from his governor, and he's getting I don't know if he was getting paid or not, but I don't know why anybody else would be there if you're not going to be getting money for it, unless you're that brainwashed. But they were told, go there, get in their faces. It's a call to action. I tweeted earlier today, Rob, can you please just show, this is the epitome of what is happening right now in Minnesota. This picture right here. It's Tim Walz behind the gate in his mansion with security telling his useful idiots to go and die to distract from what, guys? The billions and billions of dollars of fraud in his state and to keep protecting illegals, aka Democratic voters. At the end of the day, take all your emotion out and take a step back. Why? Why Minnesota? Why is it happening? And I think that's the key issue. Because, Pat, if you don't mind, Rob, did you hear one thing of Ivory Smith? Can you show these photos? You'll never hear this or you'll never see this. I sent Rob 3 photos on Slack. Could you go to the young black girl? This is Ivory Smith, okay? Does anybody know about her? Killed by a drunk driver, her mother critically injured, 7 years old. Go to Jocelyn Nungare. Pat, this 12-year-old was raped. Her throat was slit by 2 illegals from Venezuela, 12 years old. And then the last, you want to talk about nurses, Laken Riley was 22 years old, jogging. I saw a video of her parents showing up to the scene. Pat, I didn't want to send it to you, and I'm not going to, because it'll ground you. They were on the floor crying. She was jogging. The guy was trying to sexually assault her. For 18 minutes, she fought him. She fought him, and then he crushed her head with a rock. Nobody cares. No media, no leftists. It's all bullshit. Sorry for my language. It's all fake, okay? So when you start caring about people like that, I'll start caring about some stupid nurse that shouldn't have been there in the first place.
And people can talk about, oh, he was disarmed and things like that. He may have been disarmed, but he wasn't giving up. And he's still in a struggle that was going at speed with federal officers. And then a gun fires, his gun that he brought to the event. So, come on. I mean, it's a tragedy that he's dead, but it was his decision that he was there.
Humberto.
I think in this case, context really matters. Like, if you look, I mean, I'm all for the Second Amendment, but if you look at every federal building, all right, guns are not allowed, all right? And this is a federal interaction with a federal officer. Like, we made the rules so people that are going to have an interaction with the federal government don't have guns on them. You know what I mean? And the second thing is the context of a riot. Like, I don't know if any of you guys been inside of a riot. Like, things, and what Tom said, like, time moves faster than it actually moves in real life. Like, these are split-second decisions. One gun going off, like, the whole, like, a riot. I don't know if you guys seen when there's, like, big stampedes of people and people get trampled. Like, one thing that goes wrong, it will trigger the whole crowd and people are gonna go crazy. It's a big tragedy every time an American life is lost. Doesn't matter which side it is.
For sure.
Like, I'm gonna take that to the grave. You know, like, it's a big tragedy. But in a context of a riot, in the context of an interaction with a federal officer, I think it's terrible. That's
he also didn't have his permit. He didn't have his ID, which is it's illegal. He didn't have all that. And I don't know, is Minnesota have a law for bringing a firearm to a political protest? I don't know the laws in Minnesota, but I don't see that that'd be something that you do. Why would you bring a gun? Why would you bring a gun and get into everybody's face unless you were asking for it?
Well, I want to get back into the story you talked about of who they're not talking about. But before we do, can you do me a favor, Rob, and play the Jacob Fry clip of him criticizing ICE? Here's Jacob Fry, the mayor. Here's what he had to say. Go ahead, Rob.
This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting. They should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. Are you standing up for American families right now? Or are we tearing them apart?
Okay.
The invasion of these heavily...
You can pause that right there. You know, one sits there, there's different people. And by the way, I called this 2 years ago when they said they're going to deport everybody. I said chaos is going to be nasty. I said this in 24 when they said this. And I'm talking in June is when I said this, of 24. I said, look how nasty the clips are going to be and how it's going to... Rob, if we can even go back and try to find that clip from 24 when I talked about this, we have to search technology to be able to do that. You know which one I'm talking about on the side that we can do that? Let's see if he can pull it up. Rob's a magician. So, so go through all the communities of people that are seeing this. Let's go to the average person in America who doesn't follow politics closely. They're just an average father, mother. I got a job, I pay the bills, I take care of my kids, I take them to soccer. I'm a soccer mom, I go to church, I don't go to church, I watch football. The average person. To the average person in America, what does this look like? To the average person in America, what does it look like?
What's happening?
To the average person in America.
It's Gestapo. They're killing These guys are walking around, grabbing American civilians, and just shooting them point blank.
And you know what I'm talking about? You know how they say, what service every year at the church is very busy? What service
Christmas,
is it? Easter or what? Christmas. It's normally those two, right?
Yes.
Okay. What percentage of people watch the news 24/7? Not a lot, okay?
No.
But imagine those who watch the news every time something happens.
Yes.
So, oh my God, did somebody get shot in Minneapolis? Yes. Let me go to CNN.
Yes.
Let me go to NBC. Let me go to ABC. And they look at this and say, they killed an innocent man. Are you flipping kidding me? That's what they consume. By the way, Rob, the link I sent you on Laken Riley, the tragic, I don't even know what words to use, happened with Laken Riley. Do you want to know why the American people, those who follow this story, are kind of sitting there saying you've been praying for something like this? The enemy has been? Go a little bit lower when you look at the story. The 5 days, go a little bit lower, Rob, go lower to, I want to say go up 3 paragraphs. Go up 3 paragraphs. Go up 3, right there. Okay, right there. Curtis Houck's study showed that ABC, CBS, and NBC gave 20 minutes and 33 seconds to Laken Riley's trial over 5 days. Only 20 minutes and 33 seconds between ABC, CBS, NBC. This is before Barry White, okay? Which was about 1/4 of the coverage they devoted to the garbage gate story against Donald Trump in the final days of the presidential campaign. Tony Hinchcliffe's joke about Puerto Rico got 77 minutes. So what does this mean? Be good. We need that story. Yes, that's a good story. Alex Pretty, we need that story. Why? This is good. We have to make ICE look good. And by the way, while we're talking this morning with Humberto, just so you guys know, these are not perfect candidates for them. They would prefer somebody that was colored or black, or then they need a little bit more, but they'll still use it for their own benefit. They'll still use it. How much coverage did they give to Laken Riley? It doesn't meet their narrative. It makes illegal immigrants not, undocumented, immigrants. You realize the crime that is taking place in America, but that's not what they want the American people to see. They want to be able to shake things up. Because the reality of it is, when I said, go to the Tim Walz tweet, Rob, when I said, you know, this whole thing falls 100% on Tim Walz. Why does it fall 100% on Tim Walz? This is 100% on you. You're the leader of the state who lost complete control. Go a little bit lower and look at the commentary of people rebuttaling to it. Okay, go to the top one. This signals the vast fraud conducted. Skip that one. Also, government representatives. History doesn't care about excuses. Wealthy Republicans must provide. So if the government puts federal thugs in your town, look at the verbiage. Are you saying the state has the right to fight back? I'm going to answer that question for you. We can see the victim was trying to protect two women who were being violent, shoved by ICE agents. He didn't have to be a part of it. Go a little bit lower, Rob. Go a little bit lower. Does it make you feel better to blame a Democrat when you're literally watching masked, untrained government officials murdering people in the streets? Perfect. Okay. All of these things are things that people are talking about back and forth. And again, this is a very sensitive topic. Ask yourself the question, why did the U.S. government have to send ICE agents into those areas? Why? Why? Could this have been prevented? 100%. Well, what do you mean? This is the Gestapo. This is ICE. This is what they want to do. They don't want to do that, but they have to do that. Why? Because the local and state officials are not cooperating with the federal government to give them the reports. If the local and the state officials were cooperating and sending reports to the federal government of the crimes the illegal immigrants are committing in that local city or that state, we don't need to send ICE because then now we're cooperating. Well, how come this didn't happen under Obama? Ready for this one? Let's go through it. It's blue cities. All Obama's going to do is, hey, guys, give us the list. Oh, no problem, Mr. Obama. Oh, no problem, Jesus. Oh, no problem, President Obama. Here's the list. What else do you need? What else do you need? We'll cooperate with you. We'll give it to you. Of course they're going to cooperate with you because it's blue. Here, you think blue's going to cooperate with Trump to make him look good? No. You know what the blue hates, though, which Humberto said this morning? What's down 20%? Crime is down 20%. Why is it down 20%? Because of blue policies? Hell no. Why is it down 20%? Pull up the report, Rob, that even CBS had to put up, that so many people were furious, got 50 million views on X. Crime is down, murder is down 20%. But the American people are not going to see this because CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, when you watch it, they're not going to be giving you this report. The report's going to be a very different report. Murder is down 20%. Why? Border Patrol of people crossing the border today. You know what it's down to? Nothing. Ask the question, why? So why didn't Minnesota? So now let's ask a different question, Rob. Can you pull up right there? Look at that chart. Can you show that, please? U.S. murder rate in 2026. What happened? What happened? Why did it drop the way it has? Why? Answer this question. Of course you have to use Alex Pretty and drive the hell out of it because you're trying to divide, because you want to blame everything on Trump. Of course you have to do that. That's the playbook. But why don't you cooperate? And by the way, Tim Walz or all these other places, what would have happened if Tim Walz would have cooperated? Jacob Fry, when you're blaming ICE, what if you would have cooperated? What if you would have sent a report back to the White House? What if you would have told them, here's how many illegals we have, let's arrest them. They're breaking the law, they're stealing money from our taxpayers. No, 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 I need their votes. Because if I cooperate, I may not get reelected. So I'll go dance like them. I'll go eat whatever the banana and all the stuff that they're talking about. I'll go do all that stuff. No, I can't do that. Go back to that stat, Rob, that you just had. Okay, what happened to stats? Okay. All the numbers that's going on right now all over the place, we're seeing this. So if you cooperated, this would have never, ever happened. Alex would have been here. Tim Walz, it's on you. Fry, it's on you. All you have to do is work hand in hand with the U.S. government.
No way, dude.
The mayor, I believe, that was in D.C. saying, yeah, we're working with the White House because we want the streets to get cleaner. And guess what? The president has cleaned up the city. And she is not a Republican. But she was cooperating. Why? Because she wanted to make sure her people were safer. You are playing politics. The blood of Alex Pretty is in the hands of Tim Walz and in the hands of Jacob Fry. This could have been prevented. It could have been prevented if you cooperated. What are the states that ICE has been sent to? What cities? What states? It's not every state. It's not every city. I think it's California, LA.